the crime's not going to be committed.
I think if there was
If
not
they're
a
not going to
single,
be here, ma'am, the crime is not going to be committed.
if there was
a
no one
young
in our
man whose
country, no
fam-
crimes would be committed. I suppose you could say the same thing.
A young man in my district whose family is very close to me lost their son to an illegal alien, and I can guarantee you if that illegal alien, if we'd followed the laws of the land and there'd been some enforcement, that young man would be here today. Well, let me ask you this. Why did your state
This hearing ignited a national firestorm. In a tense exchange on Capitol Hill, lawmakers confronted America's governors with hard questions about immigration, crime, and public safety. Statements were challenged, records were questioned, and emotional testimonies exposed the sharp divide over sanctuary policies. What unfolded was not just a debate, but a defining moment in the immigration fight.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Governor Watz, you said that as long as you are governor, immigrants will be welcome in Minnesota. Do you find a difference between an immigrant and an illegal immigrant?
A difference, their status?
Is there a difference? Legal status or otherwise?
Well, the legal status is different, but in Minnesota, we have a long tradition of welcoming.
Okay. ICE in St. Paul arrested a criminal illegal alien who had been convicted for possession of child pornography on a work computer. Do you still stand by your statement that ICE agents are the modern-day Gestapo?
ICE agents need to do a job, but they need to do it within the realm of due process and the law, wearing masks, no notice of who they are, no notice of the vans, and picking people up off the streets without that due process. I stand that is wrong and a road towards authoritarianism. I certainly stand by that.
You know, I have one rule. I have a couple rules in my office, but one of them is never compare anything dealing with the Holocaust except for the Holocaust. I think that it desensitizes people about what really went on in Nazi Germany by making any comparisons there. Does Minnesota receive federal tax dollars for any programs that assist illegal immigrants?
Minnesota's federal tax dollars are appropriated by you in Congress, and then we use state dollars under our laws.
During the Biden administration, nearly $1.5 billion was sent to sanctuary states to pay for their illegal immigration policies, housing, health care. Governor Hochul, are crimes committed by illegal aliens preventable, in your opinion?
Our law enforcement is highly trained in how to identify prospective perpetrators, but certainly we try to prevent crimes, and we also work to resolve them and make sure that if there's a crime committed, that people find their time in court and are incarcerated. That's how it's always worked.
By definition, illegal aliens are unlawfully present in the United States. They should not be here in the first place to commit crimes. Don't you agree with that?
It depends on the circumstances of coming over. I mean, there's civil violations, there's also criminals. So it's the federal government's determination on the status of an individual.
But I mean, if they're not here, the crime's not going to be committed.
I think if there was not
If they're not going to be here, ma'am, the crime is not going to be committed.
If there was no one in our country, no crimes would be committed. I suppose you could say the same thing.
A young man in my district whose family is very close to me lost their son to an illegal alien, and I can guarantee you if that illegal alien, if we'd followed the laws of the land and there'd been some enforcement, that young man would be here today. Well, let me ask you this. Why did your state issue say that you are welcome with open arms in reference to illegal aliens? That was a direct quote attributed to you, ma'am.
It's a 400-year history we have in the state of New York of welcoming all. I don't know why we would change that now.
Okay, Governor Pritzker, you mentioned in your opening statement that criminals have no place in our country, but Cook County released numerous criminal migrants last year, including one that was charged with raping a minor. Why would you release a criminal rapist back into your community?
Thank you, Congressman. First of all, we don't need to release somebody if ICE or another law enforcement authority shows up with a judicial warrant. Then that's just the fact. And if somebody gets released, it's usually because they've had due process and determined not to be eligible to be held. That's
okay. But do you know what happened after that individual was released?
I don't, but again, a judicial warrant, if appropriate.
I'll tell you, 17 days later, he was charged with a homicide. And in Cook County, also released a migrant charged with domestic violence in August of 2024. You know what this individual was charged with 1 month later?
No, sir, I'm not sure what. case
Aggravated criminal sexual assault and abuse of minor. And as
awful.
governor, have you done anything to ensure local and county governments aren't releasing illegal immigrants charged with sexual or violent crimes?
As a matter of fact, first of all, we chase down criminals every single day. We put them in jail. We try them, put them through due process. They get convicted. They get put into our correction system. We do that every single day. You're implying that we're not. We are. In fact, our law enforcement are some of the best in the country. They do their job.
Well, if these laws were enforced, then I would assume these people wouldn't be back out on the streets so freely. How many programs does Illinois have that explicitly supports illegal immigrants?
So we've created programs to deal with not illegal. I mean, we have one program that's related to undocumented people who are.
I'm out of time,
They're
but
the most
the
vulnerable.
answer is at least four. Health benefits for immigrants, HBIS, health benefits for immigrants, adults, HBI, Retention of Illinois Students, and Equity, RISE is the acronym for that act, and the Illinois Dream Fund. And I'm sorry I'm out of time, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Chair recognizes Mr. Min.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to finish the title of the article that I was trying to read into unanimous consent.
Okay.
This hearing laid bare the heart of America's immigration divide. Governors defended tradition, compassion, and due process. Lawmakers demanded enforcement, accountability, and justice for victims. At stake is more than policy. It's public safety, national sovereignty, and trust in government. As this debate rages on, one question remains unanswered. How long can the nation balance open arms with open borders before the consequences become irreversible? If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, like, and share for others to see the political situation of the country.